So here we are.
Yeah, we're at Aspect Hygiene.
We are, and she's at 890 7th Avenue West, across from the tennis courts at the high school.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited to see what she has to offer and say in here.
Yeah, let's go meet Kara.
Let's go meet her. Hi, Kara. Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, I didn't even know this place was here.
I did. Actually, Kara did cleaned my teeth for me, about 6-7 months ago. And she is amazing. You're so comfortable. And she says she's shy. She's not. She's just talking my ear off. But we're really here to talk about Aspect Hygiene. What is it you do?
I have a very wide range of treatment options for patients. When we think dental hygiene, the first thing we think of is teeth cleaning. Mm-hmm. So we take that way beyond what your imagination starts off thinking. Mm-hmm. We start with a very thorough examination. So in that exam, I will do saliva pH testing. I take a good amount of bacteria from your mouth and we throw it under a microscope. We take a look and see what's swimming in there, and that gives us the best way to get rid of it.
And you clean all that out then, once you know exactly what to use to clean all that stuff that's around your mouth?
Exactly. So when
you with your
know,
swearing.
I don't think so.
Oh, sorry.
Cleans everything.
Yeah, exactly.
The great part about seeing what you're actually cleaning in that depth allows us to give multiple treatment options, and it's not just a cookie cutter approach. So that gives me better recommendations for you for toothpaste, for mouthwash. It has even led us to referrals to medical doctors to test for diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's disease.
Oh, wow. Do you do these tests in here, in-house?
So gathering the information gives us little tips and hints as to where we should look next.
Okay.
And then I would refer them with a beautiful little letter, just because sometimes I talk a lot. And there's a lot to absorb in that appointment. So I will write a medical letter with all of the findings that you need to take to that next person, whether it be a doctor, whether it be a dental specialist, a dentist, or even I do refer a lot to massage therapists, physiotherapists, and a lot of interprofessional collaboration.
So you're a dental hygienist.
Yes.
But you actually have training in a higher level as well, do you not?
So I have taken a course, a few courses actually, in myofunctional therapy. And that is a rabbit hole of a whole bunch of links between muscle function and your anatomy. So it involves the shaping of the dental arches, why most people could need orthodontic treatment in the first place. It also links to breathing and airway disorders. So you'll see a lot of connections through those with your sleep, with your diet, and it's a huge component of what I do. And it's incredible what we find and what we can link together. Which is
this could help like somebody's sleep, maybe?
Sleep apnea as well?
So sleep is a big component of myofunctional therapy. The best thing that I tell pretty much every client that I have is when we're at the gym, we'll work out our muscles. The next day, we typically take a break. We'll take a day or even just a few hours to relax those muscles, let them regenerate and build upon themselves. With myofunctional therapy in mind, how often do you stop eating, stop drinking, stop swallowing, and stop talking? The only time
talking?
I do it in my sleep too, so probably never.
So that is exactly the connection between sleep and our facial components. That's the only time where we have the clenching muscles and all of these to relax.
Right.
So if they are not relaxing while you're sleeping, we need to fix that. Yeah. You're also not getting a good quality of sleep. Your oxygen level may not be appropriate. And therefore what's happening is in the morning, you're going to wake up tired, groggy. You're not going to want to start your day. Yeah. And it's going to weigh on you more and more. So we actually see a lot of depression and things that come out from that little spiral.
Is this covered, like if someone has insurance? Are any of your treatments covered?
So my dental hygiene services are billed similarly to what you would see in a dentist-owned practice. I do direct billing to insurance through my dental program, as well as I take assignments. So the insurance will pay me directly, and you would just pay the difference of what wasn't covered. Myofunctional, because the insurance company can put it into multiple locations, sometimes it's covered, sometimes it's not. But what I always recommend for every single patient is we do a predetermination. So we'll have the assessment, we'll put all of the information, all of the findings into a letter to the dental benefit program, and they will ultimately decide whether that's enough evidence to bill through them or if it's not covered. Some, I mean, I've had great responses from so far, but unfortunately everyone's benefits are different.
Yeah.
So I always come prepared with that information for them so that it makes it a little easier to have that conversation with them.
All right. No, that's great. That's
That is
fabulous
great.
that you do that.
Not only do you do this, but like you said, you clean teeth and you whiten them to a certain degree, and you have a treatment room over there. I would love to see it.
Perfect, let's go. Now that we have you in the chair, the next thing that I usually like to do is go over a comfort menu. So these are different things that I offer just to make it a little bit less stressful.
Painful?
Yes, all of the above.
Okay.
So I have everything from nice warm blankets and slippers that you can wear, a paraffin wax treatment for your hands to get a little moisture. I have a nice eye and temple massager that goes on right over the eyes and massages them while we're working.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things, if you look up, when I sit you back, we have a beautiful TV on the ceiling.
Oh my gosh, my kids would have loved this,
I
Diane.
know. I thought it's
That is
amazing.
brilliant.
So you can relax, watch your favorite show. Unless we've got the massager on, then you can't see anything, but you're pretty much asleep.
I bet your kids love this.
Yes,
Right?
and perfect positioning. Gets them to look exactly where I need them, and they are just enjoying their favorite show.
And I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people don't know that you do children as well.
Yes, so the great news about dental hygiene is there's no one client. We've got anything from senior care to infant care. My youngest started about 6 months old.
Really?
Wow.
So, and again, myofunctional therapy is really good for watching the development.
Yeah.
And because I have the time, I can go through with parents and help them know how to prevent decay and prevent concerns in the mouth before there's a problem.
You've got all this neat equipment. Do you want to tell us what it does?
Yeah, so just scanning around the room a bit. Obviously, we have our dental chair. We have an overhead light that comes over and a beautiful air purifier.
Maybe I'll get up. Get out of the hot
On
seat.
this side, one of my favorite things, of course, is the microscope. We get in there, we look at the different variations, the depths, and I can see in live action what's living in the mouth. The great news about this system here is this beautiful cord hooks up into the computer. So you can see it on the computer screen, and a lot of the times the client can then look and you have that visual to help explain what you're talking about. When we talk about bacteria and even viruses in a sense, what happens is it's something that you can't see. So how do you fight something you can't see? So once you're educated and you have that information, it's a lot easier to work with it. A lot easier to battle the great debate in the mouth.
Right.
Over here, this is my dental cart. So this is the machine that does it all. This has the air water, the suctions, the hand pieces, all of the equipment comes with this little machine. It's quite incredible. I have my air polisher. So if you've been in traditional dental clinics, they have the Profi polishers that are a little handpiece and it looks like a metal electric toothbrush.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those are really great, but I love my airflow.
Yeah. And why do you love that?
So this is a powder formed polisher. So I call it like my little sand blaster. It doesn't have as much abrasive quality
Okay.
as the Profi polish that we typically use. So it's less abrasive. It also, because of the mechanics of the machine, it heats the water up slightly to a healthy level for this machine, and that reduces cold sensitivity to what we're doing.
Oh, I hate the cold. I was telling you that before when they.
The cold and the, yes, so that kind of pulls that out. The Cavitron, that's the one people don't really like because it's that really high pitched noise, and it does have the water as well.
Yeah.
The good news is it is one tool of many that goes in there and really breaks up that bacteria, breaks up that calculus.
Yeah.
But I have multiple tools.
Yeah.
So we can always adapt our tools to the client's needs. So if you hate this machine,
I do.
I will find a way around it, and you will get that same level of clean with using other equipment.
And you also whiten teeth.
Yes.
We didn't mention that. You do an amazing job whitening teeth as well. That's one of the things you do here.
So something that's kind of unique to my office is after every complete cleaning, I do a free 8 to 10 minute quick whitening touch-up on every patient that's able to, who fits in the proper criteria. You have to be over 16, and then the enamel has to be in good standing. But we do a little bit of whitening, so every time you leave, it's a little bit brighter every time.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And then yes, we have the big in-office whitenings, where again we have a multitude of products. So there's always an option.
Absolutely.
There's always an option to brighten teeth.
Right?
So anyway, if they want to contact you, how can they do that?
Well, you can go to my website at www.aspecthygiene.ca, or you can reach out to me on Instagram, any of the social media, Facebook. I've got TikTok, and even email or call.
Perfect. And your phone number?
226-664-2229.
Perfect. Thank you. I'm going to make an appointment. I'm due.
Well, I'll see you soon.
Yes, you will. Thank you so much, Kara.
Thank you so much,
Thank you guys
Kara.
for coming.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Ani, I'm Carolyn King, and I'm a member of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation and the creator of the Moccasin Identifier. Philip Cote, an artist in Toronto here, took and redrew real moccasins. We're starting over with the children. The idea is that they would research whose land their school is built on, near, or what treaty area they're in. And the educational kit that we have has all that information in there. And the children just, like, I love it. My dream is that this province will be covered with moccasin identifiers within the next decade, and they will forever know whose land they're on. That's the goal. Educate and awareness with a nice, simple little program called the Moccasin Identifier.
Hi, I'm David Shearman, host of Politically Speaking on Rogers TV. Join me for my next show where my guest will be Warden of Grey County, Brian Mill. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to It's Happening Here with Lois and Diane. This afternoon, we're here with Morag Budgeon, a dear friend of mine from high school.
That's right. We go way back.
Right?
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, 2 years ago,
Yeah. And we're here with Alan McIntosh.
Hey, good to meet you.
It's nice to meet you.
too.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
Now, we were here a while ago, Lois, and we actually got to see all the different things they're doing back there. But today we're here just to find out what is happening now and what's new and what's going on.
We've got lots of exciting things coming up. So
Well, the Georgian Bay School of the Arts always has something new. Always. Alan, do you want to take it away?
Sure.
I'm the one that always talks, and Alan's here, so let's let him
Yes,
say
we didn't get to meet you
something.
last time,
Yes.
so this is a treat for us.
Well, so Georgian Bay School of the Arts, we're 1 year out of COVID, and I guess our pattern up until that point had just been reactive to all of the closures and openings and all the rules and regulations for COVID, but we've had a year of being open. It's been interesting, but we're suddenly in a growing phase. It seems like everything's kind of come together. We can, for the first time, actually plan a summer school for our kids and know that it's going to come off, which is amazing. So we've already done that, and we planned some great programs: clay, graffiti, jewelry, fashion, all kinds of really fun, interactive activities for kids. And it's all up on our website already. We have events that we planned months in advance, which is actually a treat. We used to work 2 weeks in advance, which was so
On
challenging.
the seat of your
And
pants, wasn't it, through COVID? Just trying to
Totally.
get things happening.
now we can actually schedule things 2 and 3 months ahead, which is amazing.
Is it daily or weekly, the camps that you provide, or?
The camps, so it's 7 weeks. The kids come for the entire day for a week. And each camp is broken into 2 different mediums. So they will get clay as part of the week. So every morning or every afternoon, they'll do a clay project in the clay studio. And then the other part of the day is going to be either wood or digital arts or metal or fashion or graffiti. So, a whole host of things, all different things for the kids to do.
And then the second week would be different, the medium
Yes.
then?
Yeah.
So they could come all 7 weeks if they wanted to?
Absolutely.
Awesome, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And I imagine seating or quantity is limited for these classes, right?
10. Yeah.
10, so you want to sign up early.
Yes.
You want to
that's
sign
a
up
good
early,
ratio.
and so we have our youth teacher in-house here who does most of the teaching, but we also bring in professional artists for each camp. So during your 5 days of play, you'll have a professional potter come in and teach you wheel throwing, or you'll have a professional woodworker come in and work with the kids with wood. And in fact, this year we are going to be taking over to Intersections, which is a wood studio, wood collective here in town, and they're going to work there. We're also joining with the Tom Thompson. We're going to take the kids over there, do some sketching and color work over there with the art. So we're kind of being interactive around the town as well.
That's great. Well, there's so many artsy places in town. I'm glad to see.
Absolutely.
Well, see this. So what would the age group be?
8 to 13.
8 to 13.
Yeah, if you have a particularly adept 7-year-old who's mature and really good with their hands, then we've had kids as young as that too.
We have been running children's classes since the beginning. We started last year, I guess we started our after-school programming, but this year we just received a grant from, excuse me, from Trillium, Ontario Trillium Foundation for a digital lab. So we have done a huge renovation in our upstairs mezzanine, and we have 11 iPads, brand new iPads. We've loaded them with some programming, and that's the first time we're going to be starting to offer that. Is
What type of
digital.
programming? All right.
So, well, we've got Procreate, which is, it does 3D animation, it does computer-aided design. So the kids will start there, but we also are getting SketchUp, which is another design program for doing vector graphics, because we'll be teaching adults as well how to use plotter, grapher, cutters to help in their design of their work. So
What is this?
that is a pencil. So
I see that, but it's for an iPad, I can tell.
it's a touch pencil, so you can turn this into a sketch pad. So you can literally just draw what you want. And this can turn into a brush, into a pencil, into a marker, anything you want.
Can you show us how that works?
No. I'm not
brand new.
I'm not
Oh, I
brand new.
see. Okay.
So
okay.
you talked about the mezzanine where this is going to be held, these classes, but this was the old Kresge's, right?
was.
And many people will remember coming here.
They do.
And the
I do.
bathrooms, I think, were up there. Were they
The
not?
bathrooms are up there, and you had to pay 10 cents to get in them.
Yes.
So now it was a purpose-built Kresge's in the late 1930s, and then it stayed at Kresge's up until about the early 80s when it became the bingo hall. The bathrooms moved downstairs, and Alan and I both know a lot about the bathrooms at the bingo hall because we did most of the renovations ourselves, and there was years and years and years of bathroom grime. This place was, when we moved in, it was crazy. Anyway, that's another story for another day. But the interesting thing, when we were doing the renovations, we discovered in the cafe, where we have the cafe now, the original tile from Kresge's lunch counter, which Kresge's are very famous for their lunch counters.
Right.
And when we were renovating, I thought I couldn't remember where the lunch counter was. Could you maybe even?
Yes,
There was one was
because-
Woolworths and one was on one side. But the minute that the tile was revealed, I went, I remember it now. I remember sitting there having fries and gravy.
Yeah.
So it's really fun now that we've incorporated that into our cafe.
And that tile is amazing.
Yes.
It's very pretty. It's
Yeah.
almost like an opal opaque.
Yeah, it's so Art Deco-ish. I
Oh,
love it.
yes.
And that's one thing that many people don't realize is we do have a cafe, which is it's a social enterprise. It funds any profits go back into our not-for-profit Georgian Bay Center for the Arts, and it's a welcoming. And so when people walk in, people are sometimes a little intimidated when they walk in and aren't quite sure what we are. But the cafe is here to sort of break that barrier and make you feel a little more comfortable, and maybe even just come in for a great cup of coffee, and then you realize that there's all these studios and opportunities here.
This is a great place.
So one of the other things I find that I appreciate about this place is Alan and I are both professional artists. So we have known each other 40 years. I actually,
30.
Oh no.
I'm barely 40.
No, so 20, 30 years. I'm sorry. But when I was going to jewelry school in the early 90s, I co-opted with Alan, who was a metal worker. And I welded for you a bit. I was your...
Did all kinds of, you were with me for a couple of years.
I was, and so we began a relationship then, and we always knew that you had the passion before of opening a school in town, and it took 30 years, but we eventually got what we wanted.
And
Yeah.
you're from Owen Sound as well?
No, I moved up here in the 90s from the city, and just an economic migrant, because being in the city as a self-supporting artist was too expensive, so moved up here. And of course, we got to know everybody in the arts community up here, and it's lovely, but certainly it's an older crowd, and it's easy to recognize that we need some young blood. We need, some sort of succession policy to get people up here. So, because certainly since I've been up here, you lose, a potter of 30 years. That's a lot of talent, and you can't just replace that. You have to grow that community.
So as well as imparting all this skill and knowledge, we're giving the artists an opportunity to create an income for themselves as well. So it's twofold. It's an opportunity to learn how to throw pottery, but it's also an opportunity for that potter to pass on their skills, but have an income as
Right.
well.
And you also offer special events, or once a month or something? How's that?
We do. We try and do something because we're such a big, huge space, and we want to utilize it as much as possible. So at Christmas time, we'll do Christmas parties and events. But once a month, we try and organize one ourselves. So in January, we had our first bingo game, which we're going to have another bingo. It was really quite fun. February, I'm going to forget what we did in February. I think we had an art swap. March was fully art, so it was a plant show. Alan is passionate about plants, and a couple of other people that work here, they're passionate about tropical and succulent. They're plant nerds. So they organized it, had 5 vendors come up from around Ontario, and we had all plant-based classes. On a Saturday, it was packed in here. In May, we're having a high tea on Mother's Day and a fashion trunk show, because that's my passion. So I bring up a couple of, we're basically held hostage by this place, so we need to bring these events to us.
Yes.
So I bring a couple of designers up from Toronto, and they sell their clothes. We'll have a jeweler. I might make some jewelry. I haven't made jewelry in 3 years. I'm thinking I might make some jewelry for that. And then we're going to have a high tea with a local, actually one of my vendors at the Owen Sound Farmers Market, because I manage that as well, is going to create little lovely high tea platters, and we'll have a Mother's Day high tea. So that's as far as we've gotten. We have a book sale here at the end of April to support. Often people will come and we'll do an event that will support something. So it's to support Grief Cake, which is a new organization that's just started to help grieving families through arts and art practices. Do we have anything else planned?
What's the date for the Mother's Day?
Mother's Day,
It is
May
actual
14th.
Mother- oh,
yes.
okay.
And there's actually a craft show going across the way at Hartwood Hall as well that day. So there's lots going on.
this is great for
So don't go out of
downtown.
town
Yes.
on Mother's Day. Stay here.
Absolutely. This is so good for downtown.
Oh, it sure is.
Yeah.
And I know that we're running short of time, but I wanted to touch base on these because these are some of the crafts that you're doing.
Some of the children's crafts.
These are some of
Children's crafts.
These are
after
crafts
school.
that are from the kids
That's
after
better than
school,
I
and
could
I know.
I know
even
that-
Are
ever
you
hope
actually
to
kidding
do.
me?
So this was made by one of the kids during our March break, and it's a Mother's Day gift. So I hope Mom isn't seeing this.
So they did take some throwing and hand building. So it was combining their efforts.
And this is a project that we used for the young naturalists. So they came in for a day, and we did some eco-friendly crafts. So this is with natural wools and vines from the area. And this is from our graffiti class last year, very heavy. We basically had the kids build a panel of alleyway. So it's got bits and pieces of industrial stuff that they put on, and they created the panel. They created a tag of their name and stencils, and then we just spray painted the whole thing out back. It was
They'd have a blast, I
it was a
bet.
paint-a-palooza.
yeah.
It was
Oh,
quite
I
crazy.
bet.
Yeah, don't park your car out back during graffiti week.
Oh, that's
So yeah, the
amazing.
kids, these are things that the kids can't really get anywhere else.
No.
The pottery, the glass, the jewelry. You should see the kids with saws. We were nervous a bit about putting saws in their hands, but they're amazing.
I love this.
Isn't it cute?
I think whoever that mother is going to cherish that forever.
She better.
She better, yeah.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. What else have you got?
And this was also from the young naturalists, so we were reusing recycling, and they made owls. So we had a little tutorial about native owls from the area, and then they got to make these, and it was pretty fun, pretty noisy too. Lots of hammers and drills.
Oh, I
Yeah, and the
bet.
kids, like I said, saws, hammers, drills, banging. It's every child's dream.
It is. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
That is so good.
I know.
That is, and it's all from their own creative mind. You
Yep.
just give them the idea, and then they
And
go
just
with
direct
it.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can tell a child to do anything.
Yeah, yeah. And they
I
have a
don't know.
space here, safe space,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
I love it.
So how do we contact you?
Well, all our classes are online. www. I don't need to say that anymore. That ages me when I say that. gbarts.ca.
Yeah.
You can email us at info@gbarts.ca. Come down to the cafe. If you come into the cafe and you need to speak to somebody, they'll find us. We're always around. We do most of our registrations online. It's a really
Okay.
easy way, so you can do it at midnight if you want. You can decide that you want to take a pottery class, your bucket list, you can finally do it.
And certainly, if you want to, you're welcome to become a member and just support us that way. Even if you don't feel that you're that interested in taking classes, you can certainly just become a member. I think it's $200 a year, and just support the arts and creativity in Owen Sound and the region.
Oh, I love that.
And you do have a board?
We have a board, we have a board of directors. We're always looking for new board members if anybody is interested. And you know, the best way that people can support us, because a lot of people don't realize we are a not-for-profit, is take classes.
Yes.
Like expand your creative horizons. It's so good for you. It's so soothing. And when you're doing a piece of art or you're working on this, that's all you're focused on. All that other stuff falls away. So supporting us, coming and taking
She's
classes.
always worried. Diane's always worried. I'm not an artist. I can't do it.
That's nothing
I'm
to
looking
do
at
with
this
it.
and thinking, oh my goodness, I love that. I really do.
Well, we should take a
We
class
should take a
together.
class.
And it's
Yeah.
just learning and practice and practice and practice.
You can have a glass of wine while you do it, which makes you
we're
feel
at it.
better.
High five. Thank you very
Thanks
much.
again,
You're welcome.
Maureen.
This was
Good to
fun.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Calling all journalism students, Omni Television is once again awarding scholarships to qualified students pursuing a career in third language journalism.
When I found out that I won an Omni scholarship, I honestly wasn't expecting it. Winning an Omni scholarship helped me realize that I chose the right career path by pursuing third language journalism.
Omni is home to a variety of locally produced current affairs programs and daily national newscasts, broadcast in 6 languages. To learn more about Omni scholarships, visit omnitv.ca/scholarships.
Hey folks, it's me, Giovanni Patini, the host of the RTV quiz show, the hottest show on television. It's the hilarious quiz show where you, the viewer,